Happy Monday. Here's Grandma Diane, ready for Grandma Diane's story time. Today we are going to be reading Old Turtle, and the text is by Douglas Wood, and the watercolors are by Cheng-Khee Chee. And as you can see, American Booksellers Association and International Reading Association gave this Abbey Book of the Year 1993 Awards, Children's Book Award. It's pretty exciting when you have a Book of the Year. Goodness. Someday I hope as an author that I can win some grand, nice prize, I guess you'd say, like Old Turtle. But Douglas Wood is a fantastic author, and I don't even dream to live up to his kind of a reputation. So Grandma Diane is going to read Old Turtle this morning for you. And here is Old Turtle. And these drawings are all watercolors that are done by the illustrator. And this book is published by Pfeiffer Hamilton Publishers. And it's a signed copy, not to me, but to my friend Karen, who has very graciously lent me some of her books to use for Grandma Diane's story time. Okay, here we go. Once, long, long ago, yet somehow not so very long. Look at all the dots, dots there. When all the animals and rocks and winds and waters and trees and birds and fish wow, look at that beautiful watercolor. All the animals and all the beings of the world could speak and understand one another. Wouldn't that be an exciting time? There began an argument. It began softly at first, quiet as the first breeze that whispered, "Here is a wind who is never," he is a wind, who is never still, quiet as the stone that answered, "He is a great rock that never moves, gentle as the mountain that rumbled. God is a snowy peak, high above the clouds." And the fish in the ocean answered, "God is a swimmer in the dark blue depths of the sea." Wow, look at that picture. Almost takes your breath away. It's so pretty, doesn't it? And look at that. Oh my. "No," said the star, "God is a twinkling and a shining far, far away." "No," replied the ant, "God is a sound and a smell and a feeling, who is very, very close." "God," insisted the antelope, "is a runner, swift and free, who loves to leap and race with the wind." Guess they are having quite an argument, aren't they, about who is God or what is God? "She is a great tree," murmured the willow, "a part of the world always growing and always giving." "You are wrong," argued the island. "God is separate and apart." "God is like the shining sun far above all things," added the blue sky. "No, he is a river who flows through the very heart of things," thundered the waterfall. "She is a hunter," roared the lion. God is gentle, chirped the robin. He is powerful, growled the bear. And the argument grew louder and louder and louder until ... We know what that means, don't we? Until... Stop! A new voice spoke. It rumbled loudly like thunder, and it whispered softly like butterfly sneezes. The voice seemed to come from... it seemed to come from Old Turtle. Old Turtle hardly ever said anything, and certainly never argued about God. But now Old Turtle began to speak. Oh my, look at that. And the animals seem to be listening to Old Turtle. God is indeed deep, she said to the fish in the sea, and much higher than high, she told the mountains. He is swift and free as the wind, and still and solid as a great rock. She said to the breezes and the stones. She is the life of the world, Turtle said to the willow, always close by, yet beyond the farthest twinkling light. She told the ant and the star. God is gentle and powerful, above all things and within all things. God is all that we dream of and all that we seek, said Old Turtle, all that we come from and all that we can find. God is. And all the animals were listening. Old Turtle had never said so much before. All the beings of the world were surprised and became very quiet, but Old Turtle had one more thing to say. There will soon be a new family of beings in the world, she said, and they will be strange and wonderful. They will be reminders of all that God is. They will come in many colors and shapes, with different faces and different ways of speaking. Their thoughts will soar to the stars, but their feet will walk on the earth. They will possess many powers. They will be strong, yet tender, a message of love from God to the earth, and a prayer from the earth back to God. And the people came. Wow, look at them all. All kinds of people. All colors and shapes and sizes. And they're coming and coming and coming. But the people forgot. They forgot that they were a message of love and a prayer from the earth. And they began to argue about who knew God and who did not, and where God was and was not, and whether God was or was not. And often the people misused their powers and hurt one another or killed one another, and they hurt the earth until finally even the forests began to die. See, we have animals dying, people dying, fish, even the forest over here is dying. And the rivers and the oceans and the plants and the animals and the earth itself, because the people could not remember who they were or where God was. Until one day there came a voice like the growling of thunder, but as soft as butterfly sneezes. Please stop. The voice seemed to come from the mountains, who rumbled Sometimes I see God swimming in the dark blue depths of the sea, and from the ocean whose side he is often among the snow-capped peaks reflecting the sun. From the stone who said, I sometimes feel her breath as she blows by, and from the breeze who whispered, I feel his still presence as I dance among the rocks. And the star declared, God is very close, and the island added, his love touches everything. And after a long, lonesome, scary time, the people listened and began to hear and to see God in one another. And to see God in the beauty of all the earth. Isn't that beautiful? And Old Turtle smiled. And there's Old Turtle smiling. So whose voice were we hearing? You're right, Old Turtle. And so did God. So Old Turtle smiled, and so did God. And that's the end of our story. Isn't that a beautiful, quiet story? A beautiful way to start the new week? And a beautiful way to think about our earth and taking care of our earth and keeping it healthy and strong. I can see why that book won that prize, can't you? It's a beautiful story. There it is, Old Turtle by Douglas Wood and Watercolors by Cheng-Khee Chee. Wonderful story, wonderful book. Thank you for joining me today for that story. Grandma Diane's story time will be back again tomorrow at 11 o'clock. And we're going to be reading a totally different story than this one. It's a book by David Shannon, and it's called A Bad Case of the Stripes. That should be an interesting read too. If you have a copy of that book, dig it out, bring it along with you to Grandma Diane's story time and read along with me. I'd love to have that happen. And if you have a copy of Old Turtle, dig it out and read it sometime again today with Mom or Dad. Also, get outside, get some exercise, breathe in some fresh air, and have a good day. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye.